Alright guys, Scrappy here, and today I hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. So much trash talk going down to these tournaments and matches over the last couple of days. Kenny was making fun of Accuracy, former teammate of course, back on the Team Caliber days, for not having the greatest performance in a matchup last night. Definitely raises questions how the Minnesota Rocker might do this season. Accuracy statistically not the best player for Seattle Surge last year, but with Pred and with Simp, they could kind of get away with it at times. This season on Rocker might be a similar story, especially if Kenny's roast proves to be accurate as the season goes along. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Crazy clip here from Pred. Not exactly sure how he managed to do that. This is also a crazy stat. Brian Stats comes out with this one, and I guess I'll just zoom in on this first. Clay is the only player to be picked up immediately at the start of a season the year after playing for the Paris or the Vegas Legion. Think of all the players that have played for Paris over the last several years, and there are quite a few. None of them have ever been picked up immediately again at the start of the next season. The big example, of course, is Kismet, in the way that he went from Paris in the Modern Warfare 19 season to winning the World Championship and getting the MVP. But that wasn't immediate. After he left Paris, he was down there in challenges for years. Made his way back up to the league, and of course had the results that we just mentioned. Temp probably could have been one. We don't really know, honestly, like what exactly happened to Donny Temp. The theory would be that he probably could have gone back to Paris, but or to Vegas, but that wouldn't really have, that wouldn't qualify for this fact that Brian Stats has come up with. Maybe he could have gone to Gorillas or some other team, Donny Temp. And there's definitely teams I would look at. I think, well, if you put Temp there in the flex role, that makes a lot of sense. But we know that Temp definitely implied that he's quite keen to step into challenges, see what unfolds there. So possibly if Temp actually decided, we don't really know exactly whether he just didn't get any offers that he wanted or whatever the case is, that he could have potentially been another candidate for this stat. But it's only Clayster, which is crazy really, that nobody else in the years, like 20 other Legion alumni, started the following season in challenges or retired. So fair play to Clay, because it might be one of the most impressive things that he's actually done in his career here, is to manage to survive the Vegas Legion or Paris Legion disaster class as it usually is, and actually still get a spot back in the league. Now, sure, he's Clayster, one of the greatest of all time, so maybe not a massive surprise, but hopefully it goes well for the Ravens this year in the same way that Vegas became kind of like a fan favorite team last season. I can see Ravens being kind of similar. There's players that people want to root for over there. Of course, Real from the Spanish scene, who's now getting opportunity. Gwyn, who a lot of people thought should have got a chance last season on Surge, which never happened. And then GodRx, I think people are really rooting for him to come back and succeed in a league that's kind of kept him on the sidelines for the last several years. And obviously, Clayster is Clayster. Now, some of the frustration from Clay, this is on his stream. He didn't have the face cam on, actually, when he was streaming this. But the snaking is pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. And especially in this type of a spot, like they're playing against Dave Paddy, I think, and co here. Like, this Palace Hill is one of the hardest to break that you're ever going to see. And when you've got a guy snaking this heady, like, what are you meant to do? You know what I mean? It's already basically an impossible hill to break. And then you've got a guy doing this, like, yeah, I don't know. We talked about it yesterday, right? With Cellium responding to the fact that snaking is potentially getting nerfed. The developers definitely talking about it, and they're saying, well, we're investigating what we can do to solve snaking. And the developer also said that, you know, we haven't dealt with it yet, but some change is probably going to happen. They don't want to penalize players that are good from utilizing movement to their advantage, but they want to find other ways around it. And when you watch stuff like this, it's like, well, damn, you know, here we are again, especially when they're doing this in scrims. Sure, like grand finals are con champs, maybe I get it, but then again, it's probably worthwhile for it to be abused and showed off now, such that maybe the devs will actually decide to do something. So yeah, if you're Clay, you can't be, you got to be fuming about that one. Now, quickly from Parasite here, according to Exclusive Ace's video, he's kind of looked into the Vel 46, the MP7 Modern Warfare 2 postseason meta, basically, right, that was used in ranked play not that long ago. In the current game, with the reworked time to kill, apparently that is a stronger weapon. So we'll see what happens on that one, because right now we're not really using Modern Warfare 2 guns, and that's generally the theory. But if SMGs were to become more viable by taking the Vel 46, basically the MP7 for Modern Warfare 2, and saying, all right, you're not allowed to use the TAC, but we're going to use the MCW, that's going to be the AR, and then on the SMGs, the MP7 could be an option, because right now, I like the Rival. I think it's a fun gun, and is effective up close, no doubt. But, you know, and I kind of like the fact that you can't just giga-chal somebody across the map with it, like you could with, let's say, the AK-74U. I like that you actually have to think about when you're using an SMG what gunfights you take, but still, if it was stronger and it was probably more balanced with the AR, that would be better, especially because the AR is pretty good up close. It's got the 4-shot kill when you hit a couple of headshots. Definitely it's an AR game still, but maybe if the MP7 was to be used in the Pro, so alright, we're not going to use any of the Modern Warfare 2 ARs, but we might use the SMGs if that makes them more viable. That might be a way to go just to see if the meta can become a little bit more balanced. We also have this from last night as well, so there's great clips to share here. This is in BPL, I'm pretty sure was going on as well yesterday. So if you guys aren't so familiar, BPL, EasyMax set this whole thing up where it's a Discord, the pros can go in, and it's kind of like 8s but with an ELO rating system where when you win, you get points, when you lose points, and over the course of the next couple of weeks, we're going to see who the absolute demons are. Well, I can tell you the demon is Drazah, and we'll see that in a second, but I think anyone could have predicted that really before it all began. So Pred spins on Shotzzy here, has a pretty funny response for him, but I also wanted to share this clip from Kenny because he was discussing accuracy is, shall we say, underperformance in a particular map of play where he had only 8 kills, and we've seen some poor kill performances, right? We've seen 6 from Shotzzy in their first set of scrims they played up against Ravens. We've seen a couple of 7s, we've seen a couple of like 5s go around, because some of these maps there's not that many kills anyway, and if you get slammed, you get slammed. It is how it is. But yeah, accuracy with no hill time either. Kenny found this pretty funny. Of course, teammates, let's not forget when they played on Team Canada and won a couple of events with each other way back in the day.
They spawned on me, bro. What? Get back.
Yeah. And just got turned on. He's trolling. He's trolling. He's not trolling. I don't believe
Yo,
it.
he's secret.
Yo, Ant, can you kill me? Ant, I just trick-shotted you 20 times. You just, dude, that is karma. That is karma. You talk shit about Haggy and you just got trick-shotted. You got no, you shot me, dude. I saw the red dot. I'm like, who the f is this idiot behind me? And I just quickly, I put out the Australian slong and slammed it. You just got pissed on, kid.
Wait, no. Wait, did that get called out or did you?
No. You shot me and I just turned on you, bro. I killed you multiple times, and you tried to do my route on that.
I'm saying the last hill. I'm saying the
on that tank hill. On that tank hill, you did my route. You tried to do my route, like go low through mid, flank the windows, but I read you like a book, kid.
Nah, okay,
See you later, buddy. See you later. I pissed on you. Just know that.
Oh. Vote, please.
My bad, bro. Not bad. I'm tweaking, bro. I'm having too much fun with this shit.
Yeah, having too much fun.
My bad, bro.
You're on cooldown.
Hey, Lamar has 0 seconds that game? No way, right?
Did he have 0? No.
What do you vote, bro?
Nah, Lamar might be tweaking, bro. Lamar might be tweaking, bro. He was him. He was
above their call.
So this is the BPL leaderboard so far. As we saw, like we had the likes of Scump playing yesterday. So there's now 41 players. You guys can't quite see Parasite here at the bottom, but he's 2 in 6 right now. So he's got one of the lowest elo scores. I know we're kind of working on how to do it such that, let's say you've got a high elo, you kind of, you know, really we want the bot to try and draft people so that, like they call it MMR here, but it's kind of like an elo system. You guys know how that works in other games, chess, stuff like this. You win, you gain points, you lose points, and the amount you gain and lose depends on the relative scores of the other team. So if you're playing a really bad team and you beat them, then you don't gain as many points as if you're a bad team and then you beat a really good team. We kind of want to find a way to equalize that to some degree, but still, it's going well. And as we can see, Drazah has played by far the most series here, which is kind of insane that you look at everybody else. Vivid, TJ, Kenny, Ghosty, like what we're seeing, 7 series. I think Scump played 1 series maybe yesterday. Yeah, he played 1. Pred's played 11, so he's played quite a fair bit. But still, Drazah's played the most by far. So he's played 17. He's won 10, lost 7. That gives him for now the highest MMR. But it's going to depend the way that we're going to distribute the prizes after a couple of weeks. It will then depend on the overall rankings here. So it's early days. Just because you play more doesn't mean you're going to have a higher score, but it gives you a better chance, I suppose. And Drazah just likes to grind the game. Vivid's still up here, but now we have TJ. Kenny's gone 4 in 1 so far, and he's on a 3-win streak here. TJ's on a 4-win streak, which is pretty interesting interesting to see as well. I don't know if that's quite on the screen yet, just about you guys can see it. Shotzzy's yet to get a series victory on the board, so maybe that will come in due course for him. But yeah, obviously a lot of big names playing in this one. Scrappy so far, he's at 989, so I guess everyone started at 1,000, and then after they win and lose, then you either gain or lose elo as a result of this whole thing. So accuracy, actually, I was going to mention, because he was down here, he's 1 in 3 so far. Kenny having a relatively good time as a consequence. And how good is this Rocket team going to be this season? Because big questions on this Rocket roster as far as I'm concerned. How they're going to fare. They have some slaying power there in Awakening. But outside of that, I'm not massively convinced, right? I mean, this is the maps they played over the last few days. Of course, Vivid is there. Sure, Vivid's doing well in the BPL right now and is a very high impact player when he's doing well, but that doesn't tell the entire story because, you know, in the same way that Seattle Surge, they need aBeZy to be a big slaying force. I think that, you know, Rocket need the same thing for Lins. I don't know if they're going to get that necessarily. Of course, we know that those two played together. Lins and aBeZy in challenges last year. Had an awful lot of good results together, but not sure that's necessarily going to be maintained here. So, as you guys can see in some of these early scrum maps, Awakening is doing a lot of the slaying, right? You know, 24 kills for him. Typically, you'll see maybe accuracy soaking up the hill time. You know, again, this Rocket team I've not been so convinced by, and these were some of the scrims they played the other day against a SLAMS team, which is, just to clarify here, a SLAM, Brack, Krempenik, Skyz, so don't get that one wrong. And, you know, they went down 4-0. They lost all of these 4 maps. So it's early days, and we don't really get a full picture because we don't see that many scrims that are streamed right now to get a real picture of how Rocket are doing. And I think other scrims they've done reasonably well in. What I'm looking forward to is, just before the season starts, usually EasyMac goes through and asks all the coaches to do their coach power rankings, and they have a better idea than we do because they see all of the scrims. So an aggregated view of that is going to give an interesting picture. But yeah, Rocket not doing so well so far, and if Kenny's right about accuracy maybe not being the greatest at this game, then it might be a bit of a challenge for that team going forwards. It's not like this team is expected to have accuracy drop in big numbers, but I think they're going to need more than he had last year, right? I totally understand why they've signed accuracy and what they're trying to do, what accuracy is going to try and build with that project over there, and, you know, mold those players into what they want to be. The issue is that if accuracy isn't going to be dropping big numbers, but he's not going to be, let's be honest, because he wasn't last season, and it's probably going to be a similar trend this season. They're going to need some mega performances from Awakening, especially in the slaying category, and probably their SMGs as well. I compare their teams slightly to what's going on in the Ravens, right? Because, you know, you've got GodorX, who's kind of like the Awakening. He's meant to be the slaying flex player. You've got Clay versus Accuracy, who are very similar veteran AR players. But do I trust Clay to be more impactful, you know, drop more damage, drop more kills than Accuracy? Probably yes, to be honest, over the course of a season. And, you know, obviously Clay's generally achieved more in his career anyway. There's a question how, you know, whether Accuracy or Clay are going to get more out of their respective talents. But that's an interesting battle to watch, I think, this season, Ravens versus Rocket, because even on the SMG side, they've got Vivid and Lins, and then you've got Gwyn and Real, which again are kind of, you know, similar SMG combos in terms of not exactly sure what to expect, but also lots of new talent in there. Couple of things to mention before we close out the video here. I'm not sure that any pro would answer differently on this, but I know that this question occasionally goes around of people saying, oh, would you rather win every major but lose champs or the other way around? I would say that like 90% of pros are going to say win champs, you know, because it's the big one. And also imagine how bad it would feel that your team has dominated all the majors, that you lose the world championship. Like, that's just pretty embarrassing, to be honest, pretty tragic. So I think you'd much prefer, I think most players would much prefer to go the other way. Depends a bit on money, I guess, because it also depends where you place those other events. Like, if you're top 12 every major and then you win champs, people are going to say it's a fluke. Now, you're still winning champs, but then again, over the course of the season, prize money, it's not quite the same. So I think it depends a little bit, because if you said to Drazah, all right, you're going to place top 12 every event but then win champs, you know, would he take that over coming first, second at champs? I don't know. Maybe it's a harder battle. I think a lot of players would still take the champs ring, to be honest. Especially players that haven't won one yet. Maybe if you already got a ring, then you might prefer to win more events. I don't know. But that's certainly Drazah's perspective on the matter. And just to mention before we close out here, we've got the Breaking Point podcast is back. And we're going to do various versions of this over the course of the season. But it's going to be awesome with Drills hosting this. First episode with Sender the other day. Talked through an awful lot of stuff. I know there's an episode with Sib we're going to do in the near future as well. So definitely check that out if you guys are looking for something to watch today. Be linked in the description, all that good stuff. And very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.